Do you refuse the field sobriety test? Would you like 2 ways so that you can determine whether you take the field sobriety test or refuse? Hi, I'm Bill Umansky, the Lawman. Imagine being on the road, coming back from a magic game, soccer game. Cop pulls you over. Lights, siren, all kinds of issues. Cop comes to your window, asks you to roll it down, asks the question, "I have your license and registration, sir." Sure, you comply with that, but then the dreaded question comes. "Sir, I smell a little alcohol on your breath. Would you mind stepping out of the car and doing some field sobriety tests to show me that you're not impaired?" Oh shit, what do you do? Well, I'm going to show you 2 things so that you can make a determination whether you refuse the test or not. First, what is a field sobriety test? Well, it's not a breath test. You don't take this intoxilizer, and that's important because if you refuse an intoxilizer, you could lose your license. And in fact, if you refused previously in the state of Florida, it's a criminal charge. Luckily for a field sobriety test, which is a bunch of exercises like put your head back, stick your finger to your nose, lift your leg up, walk a 1-line stand test. Sometimes they may even do stupid ABCs like you're in grade school. Only a bunch of cops who learn that shit in the academy know how to do it anyway. But assuming that that's the case, you need to know whether you take that field sobriety test or refuse. Well, there's 2 things. 1, if you have a health condition or mental condition, like I do, you don't want to take that test. For instance, surgery, joint pain, gout, post-traumatic stress disorder, anything you can think of. If you have those conditions, you might not want to take those 4 or 5 tests that they're going to give you. Because guess what? Fail, fail, fail. That's more than likely what they're going to do to you. So make that decision quick. If you have those conditions, make sure you tell the officer. The second thing, in order to consider whether you take that test or not, is have you been drinking? If you're slightly impaired, do not take the test. If you're really impaired, do not take the test. If you're drunk as shit, definitely don't take that test. In fact, if you've had alcohol at all, you might not even know whether you're impaired or not, and taking that test could be deadly to you. So let's explain. 2 things to recap. 1, mental conditions or health conditions, tell the police officer because you don't want to take that test, the field sobriety test that is. Or 2, you've been drinking and you were kind of on that not so sober thing, you probably don't want to take that test. Because remember, even if you take that test, you're going to be giving evidence against yourself. Now listen, if you don't take that test, don't think they're not going to arrest you. Cops will make up their mind way early on. They don't really need the field sobriety test, in their humble opinion, and they may decide to arrest you anyway. I know that sounds bad, but if you take the test and mess up, they're going to arrest you. And if you think you could do that test, but you have health conditions or mental conditions, or you've been drinking, trust me, that is a dangerous situation to find yourself in. You don't want to be on video like this, falling, rolling all over the place, because guess who gets to see that? The prosecutor and the jury. So, to recap, 2 reasons not to take that test. Health and mental conditions are 1. 2, if you've been drinking and you may be slightly impaired. If you have any other questions, you give me a call, 407-228-3838. Lawman out.